Hey everyone, welcome to another video of the Nameless Things. So guys, Spider-Man has had a lot of amazing covers over the years. He's had some amazing artwork that is so well sought after always. But I think besides the main popular ones, there are a lot of other cover arts that are often overlooked. And while they are also amazing pieces of artwork, they're not quite sought after as much as these other big books like obviously the AF-15, ASM 300 and so on. So here's my list of a few underrated Spider-Man comic covers that have brilliant cover arts. Before I share my list, I want to let you know that I'm keeping it only with the ASM line. Spidey has had a lot of other lines. You've had the Spectacular Spider-Man, the Web of Spider-Man, Spider-Man Unlimited, the Spider-Man one from the Todd McFarlane series, and many more. But I'm keeping this strictly within the Amazing Spider-Man title only. Most of the comics that you will see here on my list are going to be comics that are above ASM 250 because I like the style of these comics a lot more, and I think some of the more earlier comic arts that was done by John Romita Sr. are all pretty much iconic. I've gotten a list written down here so I don't forget what I have on my mind. First one on the issue, we have got ASM 258. I think this is a really cool cover with Peter being battled for by the red suit and the black suit. Kind of shows the tension that was going on in his mind. It's also in this issue that Peter learns the symbiote is actually a sentient creature. And also one of the reasons why I love this cover a lot is because it reminds me of the Spider-Man the animated series where Peter has a similar dream where he's being pulled apart by both his costumes. Second on the list, we've got ASM 313 by Todd McFarlane. I think this is one of his most underrated works in his whole list. ASM 299 to 301 is the one that is always sought after because of the original appearance of Venom in it and because of the such amazing cover arts it has, and also some of the other cover arts that he's done after that till 326 or 328. I don't remember the last one with Hulk, but I really think this cover is just amazing because this is such a terrifying drawing of the lizard just clawing on Spider-Man. Next up, we've got an awesome Eric Larson cover that is ASM 347. Eric Larson really redefined the way Venom is drawn with all the gooey slime and the big tongue, and you can see Venom holding the skull of Spider-Man, and it was an amazing story finale where Spider-Man and Venom are fighting on this Paradise Island, and it wouldn't be for another year after this issue that we would get to see Venom again with the Carnage's introduction, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Also, this ASM 345 with the whole boomerang cover, and this cover is now booming ever since the Brand New Day trailer came out. But this is another awesome Eric Larson cover. Then we've got ASM 362 with this awesome Mark Bagley artwork of Venom and Carnage both lunging towards Spider-Man with that awesome yellow background. There is a second print as well with a grey background, but I think this yellow print is amazing, and this book is picture perfect for defining Spider-Man as a cartoon series. Every time I see this book, I can just hear the Spider-Man animated series theme song going on in the background. It is just so beautifully awesome. Speaking of another Mark Bagley awesome artwork, we have ASM 375. This is a little well sought after. It's not difficult to attain this book, but it's a beautiful foil cover of Spider-Man versus Venom and what was titled to be as the final confrontation between these two characters. It was also after this series that Venom got his own solo series as Venom the Lethal Protector, and where he became an anti-hero instead of just being a villain. Jumping 100 issues later, we come to ASM 475 with this brand new Amazing Spider-Man storyline and this artwork being done by John Romita Jr. inside, and with some of the cover arts being done by J. Scott Campbell. This cover art for this new series is amazing. You have this shiny web Spider-Man in this dynamic pose with this awesome musculature, and I love the way John Romita Jr. drew Spider-Man in this whole series. And I actually have a whole collection of this series from ASM 475 up until ASM 500 that was printed by Gotham Comics India. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that series review because I really love that series. The story, the writing, the artwork, it was all amazing, and you'll see a lot of the comics that come next will be from this series. You've got ASM 484 with Spider-Man just getting drenched in the rain and as he's sitting over the ledge. This feels very Batman-like with the thunder in the background. It feels like as if Spider-Man is in Gotham, but it's a great cover art. Next up, you have ASM 489. I really love this cover because I remember once when I used to buy the Gotham Comics India of the Amazing Spider-Man from this storyline, there was a free poster that was there in the book, and I had a big poster of this exact cover. Sadly, I don't have it anymore, but this cover is just so nostalgic for me. Spider-Man in the night, sit on the rooftops. It's just so amazing. Next up, you have ASM 491 with this big swinging pose of Spider-Man in the yellow sunset. It is beautiful, and I remember once in school there was a competition. Well, not a competition, but kind of like something the teacher had just organized this quiet game to keep all of us kids engaged in the classroom. And for those who finished their tasks first, they would be rewarded with a Spider-Man sticker. And I was so wanting this particular sticker because it was there in the sheet of the stickers, and I somehow got it, and it just made my day. And man, we used to be so happy with such simpler things back in the day, man. And finally, concluding from this series, we of course have ASM 500, which is a pretty iconic one. This is an awesome J. Scott Campbell work of Spider-Man and Mary Jane swinging away with all of Peter's rogues gallery following up behind him. And this is the issue that I think that should have ended the ASM line, because it had the perfect ending for Peter's arc. But of course, Marvel's not going to stop printing Spider-Man or Peter Parker because they have to make money. Next up, we've got ASM 520 with this amazing cover of Spider-Man whipping to the page. It's got this amazing angle where Spider-Man looks so powerful and dynamic as he's just putting his hand out and whipping to the reader, as you can see. It's a beautiful art, and I've seen this particular pose of Spider-Man being used for marketing many times. Speaking of marketing, I want to give a shout out to Scott Johnson's work. I don't know how many of you remember, but if you were in India and you grew up in the 2000s, his artwork of Spider-Man was the marketing artwork of Spider-Man. There was so many merchandises, bags, bottles, labels, stickers, comic books, coloring books that were all made with his artwork and style of Spider-Man, which I think was beautifully amazing. It is just pure nostalgia for me. Getting back to the list, we then go to ASM 530 with the cover appearance of Iron Spider. This isn't the first appearance of Iron Spider. I think he was introduced in the previous issue, but I like this particular issue in the dark as you see this kind of threatening and menacing look of the Iron Spider suit. Next up is an issue that has picked up a lot of interest over the recent weeks, and that is ASM 546, the start of the brand new Days series. Now, I'm not a particularly big fan of the story, but I think this cover art looks amazing. Even though I know the movie is not going to follow the exact storyline, it doesn't change the fact that this comic, it has a great cover art. And the last one on my list is ASM 539 with the first issue from the Back in Black series. Dude, this cover art of Spider-Man in the black suit is so menacing, and considering the story that follows as well, I think it got the aura right of what the story is going to be like. So that was my list, guys. Let me know your thoughts about these issues and their cover arts in the comments below. Let me know if you want me to make a part 2 where I discuss more such awesome cover arts, and I will catch you guys next time.